I started farming with my dad when I was probably in the 3rd grade or younger, and we've been growing watermelons ever since then, and other grain crops and vegetables and things like that. And the farm's just expanded as when he retired, and we just kept getting bigger, and and we're up to about 1,300 acres now. It is a way of life. I mean, it is. It's what we enjoy. It's hard work. It's long hours, but most of us that have done it, that's all we know. We are our own boss. That's one thing that's important to us. We're pretty independent, I think, as farmers go. Pretty stubborn. You got to be sometimes to take the risk we do. So, but we've tried to take some of those variables out. We irrigate. Everything we do is irrigated because traditionally, I think 9 out of 10 years we have a drought in this area. But the weather, obviously, no matter whether you can irrigate or not, is going to affect us, whether it's hot or cold. Our watermelons don't like it if it's too cold or too hot to set. There's a lot of variables to the quality of the watermelon by the weather. We sell a 60 count, which is like a 9.5 pound watermelon to 13. The 45 counts are 13 to us, 16.5, 17 pound. 36 count is 17 to 22, and then we have a large. So there's about 4 different packs. We have a crew, and it's a crew that comes up. They work the whole East Coast, and I can't, off the top of my head, there's probably 40 people in the crew, maybe even more than that, considering the packing house crew and everything else. They cut, they load, and then we take them to the packing house, and they pack them in bins, and then we ship them out. My parents were involved in the Watermelon Association years ago. My mother was actually a queen coordinator. My wife was secretary-treasurer of the association for years. She finally got out of that, and 2 years later, they needed somebody to take over the queen coordinating position, so she did that.
And today for the salsa, you're then going to split it again in half. And we're going to make little tiny diced cubes out of the watermelon. And you're going to cut right down the side in little tiny pieces. And then you're going to slice it down the other way. Then you're going to get a half a cup of green peppers. And then next we have 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 1 tablespoon of diced cilantro. We're going to add some green onions. We have plenty of samples for you guys if you want to come up and get some. And thank you guys so much for your time.
And the recipes are right here as well. It is a lot of traveling, but we meet a lot of wonderful people, and it's a great experience for the young ladies to get to experience things throughout the United States.
I go to the University of Kentucky, and I am studying agriculture economics and with minoring in animal science. I love it so far. I really like the agriculture industry, and the watermelon has really helped me meet a lot of people and make a lot of connections.
We've just met so many great people and seen some great things as we've gone around the country, so it's been great.
The biggest thing we've got going for us in Delaware is our proximity to the Northeast, especially from the watermelon industry standpoint, because we are the farthest north economic stop for watermelon production. Our freight is so much lesser with the price of fuel and everything else. It's cheaper to get our product into New York, Boston, any of the Northeast cities than anywhere south of us. So it gives us an advantage. And other vegetables, there's a lot of vegetables grown here, and I think that's one of our advantages because it's the most populated area of the country. What we do, we check it for solidness. We say if it talks back to you, it's a good solid watermelon. If it sounds like a drum, it's got a little hole in it, means it's got like a little hollow heart spot. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything because that spot may only be this big, and you can tell by the way it sounds as far as quality, really. So anyway, you want to see what this one looks like? I actually cut them this way a lot of times. You think of summer, you think of watermelons. I mean, when you're a kid, you think about sitting on the porch or the back step or someplace with a watermelon cut open and you're eating the heart out of it and things like that. I mean, how much more American can you get than eating a watermelon in the summertime?